Your intent doesn't matter, only the consequences. Hello, welcome back to my 90 days of lessons from me to you. And today is day 58, I'm pretty sure. And as you guys can tell, we are back home. I've been back home for the past, I guess, 3 days. Today would make day 3, but 2 days. Got back home Thursday night, super late. It was 4 a.m. Had to work yesterday. No, I had to work Friday, and then my friend's birthday was yesterday. So it was a pretty hectic couple of days for me, especially, I'm still kind of tired right now, and I didn't really feel like recording a video because I went to bed super late last night because my sleep schedule is fucked because of Thursday. But we're here, and I love it. So today's video is that your intent doesn't matter, only the consequences. And what do I mean by this? There's one thing I always say, is that a man or a person, to be honest with you, a person is only as good as their word. What does it mean? When you say you're going to do something, whether it's for you, another person, you do it. Because that shows that you respect yourself and that other person to do the things that you say that you do. And, if you can't even look at it this way, if you can't do something for yourself, why would somebody expect you to be able to do something for them, right? I know that it sucks to the idea that people only look at you for what you can do for them, but there is some reality in the fact that people look for what you can provide for them, right? Whether it's in a relationship, a friendship, or things like that. It's companionship. Like, people look for what you can provide for them. So if you have all these intent, that they could be the best, purest of intents, right? You want the best for this person, but the results isn't really yielding what's quote unquote best for this person. I'll give you guys an example, right? My mom has the best of intentions for me. She wants the best for me out of life, right? My mom loves me, but the way that she goes about it is the problem. She's hard on me, right? But I believe, of course she's hard on me. So I'm going to say, I believe she's hard on me to a fault, because I wouldn't consider myself a kid who gives trouble. I don't smoke. I don't drink like that. Like, I drink once every couple months. I'm not a big fan of alcohol. I don't do anything crazy. I'm not involved in anything crazy. I go to school. I'm literally going into my doctor. I do this, right? So, like, I'm doing things to, like, better myself, right? And I keep my head on straight for the most part. Yeah, for the most part. So, she's hard on me, and her intent isn't to push me away, but it results in that because it's like, it feels like anything that I do, right? Whether it's for myself or for her, it just feels like it sucks because it'll feel like it's never enough, right? Because you see other people and their parents are like congratulating them and things like that, and trying to, be there for them whenever anything happens, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. And sometimes I just feel like my mom, she has something to say all the time, and it doesn't ever really feel good to me, right? And again, her intent probably isn't to make me feel bad. Maybe it is. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I'm not in her brain. Her intent isn't to make me feel bad all the time. Okay, yeah, not make me feel bad all the time, but most often than not, that's what it results in, right? And that's the consequence of that. The true consequence of that is the fact that I become very indifferent towards it, right? I myself have taken it upon myself that every single thing I do for myself, everything I do in life, is I do it for myself. I do it to make myself happy within reason. And there is a positive consequence to that, right? Because I've adopted that attitude. It's like, okay, every single thing that I do it for myself. I do it for my younger self to make myself happy. But that negative consequence comes in the fact that I don't feel like I will ever truly have that relationship with my mother that people have with their mother most often than not, right? So, that's that one. I don't really want to get too deep into that one because I feel like there's a lot there that I need to unpack personally. But I'll give you guys, a broader example, right? Say you always say that you're gonna do this for yourself, right? You're gonna go to the gym. You're gonna go to the gym. You're gonna, study more. You're gonna lock in. You're gonna do things. You're gonna upload every single day on your channel, things like that, right? So if you keep saying those things to other people, but your attitude and your output is not matching that, right? Why would they trust you, right? It's like I said, a man is only as good as his word. Why would they trust you, right? It's like, if you can't even do those things for yourself, how am I going to expect you to do something for me, right? It sucks to say that people only see you for what you can provide to them, but into some aspect that is always there, whether it's friendship, companionship, or, them keeping up with you, right? Like I said, it sucks to say that, but in some form or fashion, that's there, right? People there's very rarely unconditional love in this world, right? Love is always given with condition. The condition that you meet these requirements, whether it's you meet the requirements of you love me back, you take care of me, you provide for me, you make me feel safe, nurtured, and things of that nature. You respect me, things of that nature. Like when I say love isn't unconditional, I don't mean the fact that it's like a transactional unconditional. It's like a transactional condition, right? It's not like money one to one. I feel like that's what people go to most of the time. It's like, oh, when love isn't unconditional, it's just like, oh, money 50-50. Like, no, that's not what I'm saying. Love has its conditions to the fact that you meet these specific requirements. They can be a broad subset of requirements, right? So it's like if you're not meeting those requirements, they're not gonna want to be with you. And your intent may be to meet those requirements, right? Your intent could be like, oh, I want to love you. Oh, I want to take care of you. Oh, I want to be there for you, blah, blah, blah. When you get into a relationship, you make all these big promises at the beginning of it. You shouldn't do that. I'm not going to say set the bar low, but just be yourself going into a relationship. Don't set these high expectations, whether you're a boy or a girl or anything of, a human being. So yeah. So, because it gives your intent is pure. Right? Your intent is pure. You have this idea that I'm going to be this model person for them. But when you don't meet that, the consequences strike, right? They start looking at you different. They start seeing you different. It's like, okay. It's like, all right, well, if you're not, again, for an example, keeping up with yourself, why would you keep up with me? If you're not keeping up with me, it means that you don't respect me. If you're not keeping up with me, it means that you don't love me. If you're not keeping up with me, it means that you don't want to be with me. And eventually that leads to that resentment, which is a consequence of that intent, right? And I'm saying this to say that you can have the purest of intentions with people. I know I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself here. You can have the purest of intentions and expectations for yourself to give to people. But what reality is oftentimes not that intention, right? That's why you need to go into things have an intention, but you need to go into things without expectations. Once you go in there without expectations and you hold yourself to your own standards and the things that you want, life is so much better. It frees you, right? It frees you from that expectations of what that person should be doing or what you want from that person, right? Again, I know this kind of sounds, I don't want to say antithetical, but it kind of sounds like a rabbit chasing a dog chasing its own tail. But the idea that your intent doesn't really matter, it's true, man. I've been in situations where I had nothing but the purest of intentions to get things done, but the consequence or the result of what happened wasn't indicative of the intent, right? Because how many times have you intended to comfort somebody and you said the wrong thing, and now they feel worse? That wasn't your intent to make them feel worse. You're trying to make them feel better. How many times has, again, somebody felt bad and you crack a little joke? Your intent wasn't to make them feel bad with the joke or make it seem like you don't care about them with the joke. Your intent was to maybe make them laugh, make it a little bit lighthearted, right? So it's things like that. That's what I'm saying, where your intent doesn't matter, only the consequences. So whatever you try to do in life, always think of the consequences. Not in to say, we always give consequences a bad name. I should probably say results more than consequences, but always think about how it can affect it. Not to the degree where you're stuck and you're anxious about it, but always keep in the back of your mind, like, all right, I do have this idea, say, again, relationship example, I want to take a girl on a date. Like, all right, I'm gonna plan the greatest date ever, right? My intent is to show up on time. My intent is to have everything set out, that all we got to do is just go places and we just have fun. Rainfall, your mom call you. And she's like, all right, bro, you got to get this thing done for me. It's really important. I need it done before tomorrow. I need it done like right now. All right, now you're 30 minutes late, right? So you're 30 minutes late, you show up, you take her out, you go, rain starts falling. Now you can't even do anything outside, right? And sucks, date's ruined. Your intention was to have a great time with this girl, but again, those are things that are out of your control. But again, these are results. These are the results. So, yeah. My brain's a little bit foggy today, so I hope this made sense. I truly do. But we're back. There will be a video tomorrow. I promise you that. Really trying to get back on schedule, get back on track. Picking up 2 jobs kind of pretty soon. So yeah, I'm excited to be back though. I can finally start experimenting a little bit with the channel. I don't know if you guys saw me outside, like, you know, in the past couple of videos. I really enjoyed that, and I really kind of missed that. So I'm really going to start working on being able to transfer my files to my PC again, see how that works out. So I can actually record outside instead of being stuck in this room with this lighting. It's good lighting, but, you know. So as always, put God first in every single thing that you do. Seek Him in everything that you do. Love yourself more than you love anybody else. And if there's somebody out there that loves you, I love you, but there's somebody out there that loves you. I will see you guys tomorrow.